We'll see some scattered showers and a rumble of thunder through the night in Tupelo. 70% chance for showers and thunderstorms bubbling up Saturday and our high near 80. In the Vicksburg area, cloudy through the night, a ramping up of showers and thunderstorms rolling our way for Saturday and our high right around 85 degrees. Isolated showers or a thunderstorm through the night in Pascagoula, a low at 70. Scattered showers and thunderstorms around for Saturday, looks like for Sunday too, highs upper 80s. I'm Jennifer Naira Moore. This is Think Radio.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Under the Lights on MPB and around the state. Don Barnes along with George Broadstreet. My good buddy Joel Norris over here to my right, the right-hand man. Got some crazy eights information. 8-man football going to be coming for you in the 11 o'clock hour. Around 11:15, we'll have an update for you on that rainy night for football around the state, and I think it was kind of localized to the central part of the state. There was some going on down on the coast, and there's still some that's firing up. But George, it's been a soggy night.
Yes, it has, and actually it's been a kind of soggy afternoon, and really about a soggy last 6 weeks. So it's been it's kind of a nasty night out there, and obviously that's had an effect on some of the ball games. Some were moved to Thursday night because of the impending weather. A lot of the games, we've made. We brought up the fact that the 7:30 starts are having an effect on us getting scores, but also the weather. A lot of the games have been affected by that. So, but anyway, we've got plenty to talk about tonight, and plenty of good games that have been played, and some that are still maybe in progress. But we got plenty to talk about.
We are super excited to be here, broadcasting here week 3, and the Scoreboard show has made its move over to MPB in our studios here, and we love this place. This is nice. This is nice and comfortable.
This is probably the way it should be. A lot of times it's not.
Well, we are definitely going to enjoy having you folks along with us for the ride for the next couple of hours as we run down all the scores that we can get to. There's obviously a lot of games still going on, so we'll have to check on those. Let me go ahead and give you the phone number so that you can call in if you would like to. If you have some information that you'd like to share with us, we'd love to hear from you, whether it's weather or whether it's scores or highlights or whatever you happen to have going on. 1-877-MPB-RING, R-I-N-G. So 1-877-MPB-RING. If you're like me and you can't spell, that's 1-877-672-7464. And you can go ahead and get in on the action here as we have time allotted for taking your calls throughout the night. And we'll go ahead and jump right into some scores and see what's going on around the state, the things that we know of now, last night's scores, and what's going on around all of Mississippi now.
Okay, Don, let's take it from the top. And these are, kind of random, not in any particular order. Florence 43 and McGee 7. Ocean Springs defeated George County by the score of 36-0. Poplarville shut out Lumberton tonight 48-0. Terry in another shutout Murrah 35-0. Wayne County over Tylertown 42-13. It was Starkville over Olive Branch by the score of 42-10. Also in MAIS action, a final, Canton Academy over Oak Hill 40-6. Clinton Christian Academy got a nice win at home over Carroll 34-14. Now some partial scores from tonight. Third quarter score, Madison Central over Northwest Rankin 27-3. Last report, second quarter, Oak Grove was shutting out Hattiesburg 14-0. In the fourth quarter, Mendenhall was ahead of Laurel 13-7. That would be an interesting final if that ends up with that way. In the fourth quarter, Morton and Pearl were in a real Donnybrook. Morton was ahead of Pearl 21-20 in the fourth quarter. Also fourth quarter, Raleigh 40, Taylorsville 12. Picayune in the fourth quarter was shutting out Gulfport 21-0. Brandon and Clinton over in Clinton. Fourth quarter score, Brandon 35, Clinton 28.
That's a tight one.
That is a tight one. It was 14-14 in the first half. Brandon pulled ahead by a couple of scores. Clinton has pulled within 7. We'll see how that finishes up. Fourth quarter, Summerall 29, Seminary 20. Third quarter, South Panola 34, Memphis Central 0. Macomb over Emmett County 42-6 in the fourth quarter. Let's see. I can't read my writing. St. Martin 48, West Marion 13 in the fourth quarter. Tupelo was ahead of Corinth 35-10. One more, let's see, third quarter, Jackson Prep, with the Russ's game, is 37, Jackson Prep, Lamar 9. That's in the third quarter. Halftime, this is an interesting matchup. Jackson Academy was ahead of Madison St. Joe 14-6 at the half.
I got Morton and Pearl tied right now at 28.
Okay.
So
right.
that's kind of an interesting
That would
one.
still be the fourth quarter then.
Yep.
Okay. Let me give you these. These are Thursday games that were played on Thursday. Amory 63, Moorville 0. Aberdeen edged Calhoun City 30-28. It was East Webster over Vardaman 31-21. Bay Springs beat Heidelberg 52-6. Union defeated Leake Academy 13-6. Saltillo edged Nettleton 30-27. Quitman 54, Newton 14. Itawamba AHS 45, North Pontotoc 3. Northeast Jones defeated Perry Central 26-6. It was Leake Central 43, Philadelphia 34. This was a really good game. Provine and Callaway, I think, went to double overtime, but Callaway ended up winning that game 22-14 last night. That was last night. That was a really good game. And Ridgeland defeated Jim Hill by the score of 40-7. So that's what I have at the moment.
So go ahead.
Hey, Don, we got a caller.
All right.
His name is Rex, and he wants to talk about I believe he's considering quite an upset, Presbyterian Christian and Hartfield.
All right, I got Rex on the phone. Thanks for joining us tonight, Rex. I hope you stayed dry, and if not, I hope you had fun.
Well, stayed fairly dry. Had a little drizzle most of the game, but it quit about halftime. But great ball game. PCS is starting to get a little bit better. I had a great defensive effort. They beat Hartfield 14-7.
Wow.
So they went into Hartfield because that was an away game for those guys. They came over to Flowood and gave Hartfield a little bit of a lesson.
They did. Hartfield's got a good football team. But,
yeah.
I have a grandson that plays for Preston Christian, so I'm just a fan. But I used to be in the school business many years ago and called in a few times when I was at Taylorsville. But Hartfield scored first. They intercepted a pass, took it to the 3, and scored 2 plays later. 7-0. Preston Christian comes back, takes it down the field, scores on a touchdown pass, and then took the lead in the second quarter on about a 70, 75-yard punt return for a touchdown. And PCS actually missed 2 or 3 really good chances. They got it down to the 1 and had a bad snap and cost them another possible touchdown. But they hung on, and big win for them. They got a new coach, Coach Bobby Carr. He comes in from Alabama with some really great credentials. He coached 25 years in the Alabama private school and won 13 state championships at 3 different schools.
All right. Well, what was that final score again on that one? PCS over Hartfield. What was it? 14-7?
14-7.
All right. We thank you so much, Mr. Rex. You guys have a safe night. Drive safe on your way home.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Don, we've got Mike Peterson to talk about Hattiesburg. Hang on just a second. Let me drop that call. Here's Mike.
Mike Peterson, give us the report from down there in Hattiesburg. What's been going on with the Tigers tonight?
Well, we're still playing right now.
Okay.
It's 42-21 Oak Grove with about 3 minutes to go in the game. It became a flood down here tonight. I mean, if you saw the movie Forrest Gump, he said it was upward rain, downward rain, sideways rain. Well, that's what we experienced
Big
tonight.
fat rain.
So, big fat rain, absolutely, absolutely. But losing 42-21, but the score is way closer than what it looks like. We played our fourth-string quarterback tonight, and he played very well tonight. He scored a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and he even returned a kickoff back for a touchdown tonight. So looks like we found us a playmaker, and play Meridian next week.
Well, Hattiesburg has had a great program up and down, and this is one of those, maybe another, like a lot of schools this year, a rebuilding year for them. And not sure what the story is behind playing a fourth string quarterback, but do you know the reason why they were running that?
I do. Our number 1 and number 2 quarterback got hurt the first game of the season against Tuttle.
Wow.
And one of them is out for the season. The other one should be back by region play. And then last week, our number 3 quarterback, he's only a freshman and playing against 6A teams. That's just too much pressure to put on a freshman quarterback. So we went with somebody different tonight. He's not really a quarterback. He's more than an athlete. He's more an athlete than he is a quarterback. But he did well tonight, and we're going to try to get that first win of the year next week at Meridian.
How much time left in this one tonight?
2 minutes.
Just a couple of minutes. All right. And the score now was 40. What was it? 41.
42-21 Oak Grove.
42-21 Oak Grove leading that one, and looks like they will take that one on across town. And so that's a good rival game for you guys.
It is. It's a big rival game. Players know each other. They're enemies on the field tonight, but don't be surprised if you see them hanging out with each other tomorrow.
That's the way it should be. Yes, sir. All right, Mike Peterson, we appreciate the information, buddy. You guys have a great night. Stay dry if you can.
Okay, thank you.
All right. He was not kidding about the flooding that was going on down there. It happened here as well, and it was happening in Meridian. I think even as we speak, they've got a pretty big system coming through Meridian right now.
Yeah. I came up from the west side of town here.
Yep.
And it was raining a few times. You couldn't see. It was raining so hard. A couple more finals. The Tupelo-Corinth game is now final. It was 42-10. Tupelo over Corinth. Lawrence County wrapped up their win over Natchez 43-30. Pass Christian final beat Purvis 21-14. So those are some finals we did not have a minute ago.
All righty. Well, we are going to get more scores as they come in. And what you got, Chris?
We've got Eric Smith on the phone to talk about Richland and McLaurin. Here's Eric.
Eric Smith, welcome to the show, my friend. Tell us what's been going on tonight.
Man, for the most part, we stayed dry sitting in the stands. Them kids on the field might have got a little wet, but they had some fun tonight, 41-6. McLaurin got a kick return for a touchdown. The rest of it with the ground and air attack of the Richland Rangers. It was 28-0 at the first quarter.
So the Richland Rangers were giving them all they could take, huh?
As this big Charger I'm driving back home of mine, this 5.7, all cylinders was running, baby.
What were the field conditions like at the beginning of that game, and then what was it like by the end of it?
We must not got too much of a soaking pregame because we barely got any for the game. It tapered off, and it really wasn't a mud puddle on that field compared to what it was to opening night at Richland against Wingsfield, buddy. Good Lord, I had not seen a field like that. But this field conditions was good. I've heard about the Madison County. It was a pretty big storm up that way.
Yes, sir.
Bloodstadt and Warren Central got canceled due to the weather.
We have had a couple of delays for sure with some lightning issues, and then also just some really, really heavy rains that caused some of those games to be paused. And you're saying those were some cancellations for tonight?
That they started the game and never got to complete it. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Eric Smith, we appreciate the information there. Richland taking one over McLaurin 41-6. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be back with more coming up. We'll be hearing from DP with Northwest Rankin. We've also got to hear from Tommy Barnett for the JA Raiders and Josh West for the Tri-County Rebels when we get back here on MPB and Friday Night Under the Lights.
When you hear the words blue sky, it means clear sailing. When you stop at a Blue Sky convenience store to fill you or your vehicle up, it'll also be clear sailing. Fuel at competitive prices and a total convenience store with the beverages and your favorite foods that you'll come back for. When you stop at Blue Sky, it means clear sailing. Blue Sky wants you to have a great holiday season and hopes that you enjoy today's game. Blue Sky, fast, fresh, and friendly.
Hey guys, this is my friend Barry.
Hi. Unlimited data, Barry?
Ranked #1 in customer service by J.D. Power, Barry.
Let me take your coat, you little award winner, you.
Actually, that's my fur. Oh, be careful of the man's fur.
Malones are competitive people. Comes from a deep line with my father. There were 9 in his family, and they had to fight for everything they had.
My dad didn't allow us to have any quit in us. I mean, everything we did, we pushed hard. This isn't a job to us, it's our passion. We were bred to do this.
You know I'd love to be there. It's just super far.
That's not that far.
We have unlimited data. We can chat all we want. I'm comfy.
But it's like 10 feet.
Like I said, super far.
Get your school on the network now.
And we're back. Friday night under the lights. Don Barnes, George Broadstreet, Joel Norris along with you, and Chris Saxton over there running things so smooth. Ty Bailey answering the phones tonight, and we do appreciate all of that. These guys come out in the torrential downpours to bring you scores, and we do appreciate it very much. And of course, we thank MPB for giving us the digs here. This is a nice place for us to be able to do our show from, and we are very appreciative of that. All across the state, you can hear Friday Night Under the Lights, and that's the way it's been for what, 26? Is it 26 years now?
I think it's 30 actually.
30?
Yeah. I mean, we probably ought to have a cake or something, but we haven't come up with that.
Did you say a cake or a cape?
Probably both.
Well, congratulations. Even if it's 25 and not 30, it's I tell you what, it's been a long run and a great one. 1-877 MPB ring. That's 1-877-672-7464. If you'd like to give us a call and tell us about your scores that you have from around the state, wherever you are, representing your teams, and maybe it wasn't such a great night for you, but you'd like to tell us anyway, and be proud of your teams. We'd love to hear from you guys, and we'll jump in and see if you got anything new.
Yeah, actually I do. The prep game, Jackson Prep, that game is now final. It was Jackson Prep 44, Lamar 9. That was the final score there. This is also a final that just came in. Mendenhall apparently has upset Laurel 13-10.
Really?
So yeah, and Mendenhall had beaten McGee. You know, we didn't fail to mention that last week, but Mendenhall and McGee met for the last time last week. It's kind of the Simpson County Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And next year they're supposed to consolidate and just have one big school. I'm not sure what they're going to call it. I'm not sure if it's Simpson County something or another. But anyway, Mendenhall defeated Laurel tonight 13-10. That's a pretty good game.
And there's not a lot of love lost between those two, I would think.
Well, Well, probably not. But I mean, Mendenhall. That's a good win for them.
Yeah,
really
absolutely, absolutely. Because that's a tough program for them to come back on.
Absolutely,
and do well
for sure. And I also had a report. Now I don't know. I had fourth quarter. I just saw a moment ago. Brandon and Clinton are now tied at 35.
Hey, come on now, really?
Yeah.
That makes things pretty interesting for number one Brandon.
That makes things interesting, but that's a hard game for them because they had all the pump up last week against the rematch with Madison Central at home, beat Madison Central bad 28-7, and Clinton's not bad, and they had to go to Clinton and under kind of not the ideal conditions tonight. So anyway, we'll see how that one ends up.
All right. So as we hear the report coming in from. I think it was Eric Smith that let us know that there were some cancellations. One of those was the Warren Central and Germantown game. At least that's what we're hearing.
I think that game got underway, but they were never able to finish it. Is the understanding I had.
So we may or may not hear from Jared Schatz from Germantown or Reed Vance, who is also the voice for the Vikings over there at Warren Central. But if we do, then we'll definitely.
Well, hopefully, if they're out there, they'll call and give us a kind of a definitive. This is exactly what happened.
At what point do you say, okay, we're not going to get this done tonight?
Well, it could be a lot of things. It could be the field conditions. It could be, I think they paused it because of lightning several times.
Yeah.
It could be, electrical problem. It
and
could
they
be a whole lot of different things.
Like everybody, it's a 30-minute.
Yeah,
I think
so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. So that could happen if there's a cell popping up.
Last weekend that Mississippi State Memphis game was kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's supposed to start at 6:30. I don't think they really got going at about 9 o'clock. I mean, they played a few minutes, but then and the game didn't get over with. What, Joel?
It was like
11:30 or something.
Yeah,
close to midnight.
Yeah, close to midnight. So I mean.
It's past your bedtime.
Well,
past my bedtime. What am I talking about?
I got to go to church.
What you got, Chris?
Hey, Don, we got a caller. Ty Boyles is calling in for Crystal Springs and Jefferson County. Here you are.
Ty Boyles, my buddy. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Not much, Don. How are you?
Man, if I was any better, there'd be two of me.
Yeah.
Tell me about Crystal Springs. What happened tonight?
Well, we lost 22-14.
Oh.
Yeah. We almost won it and everything, but we just couldn't stop them.
Well, tonight was kind of an odd night. So many different things could have gone right or wrong, and weather was one of those things that went really, really wrong tonight. So, but is this a caliber of play that you expected, or was it a surprise?
It was a surprise.
Gotcha. Well, I think our bigger question for you and me, the Texas fans in the room, the lone Texas fans in the room, is how are we going to do tomorrow?
I'm hoping we shit family in the mouth.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun, and we can certainly dream about that tonight. And it's like I was asked earlier today, how are you feeling about tomorrow? I said, well, I'm prepared for the worst and hoping for the best. So that's the way we're going to go with that one. But Austin, I'm sure, is rocking tonight because that's an 11 o'clock start tomorrow for Alabama and Texas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. You know what we got to do before we let you get off the radio? You got to give us that sound, man. Pounding sound. Do it.
Go dogs! Come on!
That a boy. Ty Boyles from Crystal Springs. Thank you, bud. Appreciate you, man. Always good to hear from our friend Ty.
He's famous, He
really is.
In his own
Not even
right,
in his. He's kind of famous in my mind too.
Yeah.
So we like to have Ty around.
Well, Ty's fun, and Ty enjoys it. So that's the whole point.
And he's a little bit of a Bulldog fan and a little bit of a Texas fan,
right?
So.
Which is an odd combination.
Yeah. And it'll be even more odd in a couple of years. So we'll have to figure out who he's going to pull for when that comes around. You know what I mean?
I can't get my hands around or mind around Texas and Oklahoma in the SEC. That just doesn't sound right, does it?
No,
but neither does
I was going to
Missouri
say
and
that
South Carolina.
there's a
for
lot
that
of
matter.
there's a lot of things that don't sound right that shouldn't probably go in the Southeastern Conference. But when you talk about the quality of football that are in those programs, then maybe that's part of it. And
well, and the money that they bring.
Sure, absolutely, and they do a lot of that. All right, so this could be an interesting night as far as people checking in because so much may or may not have actually gotten done, or is probably still in the throes of it. Like would like to be able to hear from Kerry Metzler, but Picayune, I think they actually have a final down there on that one. I think it was 21-7, I believe, is what I saw.
Last I saw, Picayune was ahead of Gulfport 21-0, but that was in the fourth quarter. I do have a couple of finals.
Yep. I got a final on Picayune right here on Max Preps. It is 21-7 was the final.
Okay.
So Gulfport drops one to undefeated Picayune. They go 3-0.
Hancock defeated Greene County by the score of 44-22 was the final there. Bay defeated Long Beach 42-21. Collierville defeated Center Hill 42-0. So there's some other finals that we've not given you before.
All right, 1-877-MPB-RING. That's MPB Ring, or 1-877-672-7464 if you're alphabetically challenged like I am. And you can get to us and tell us what score you saw tonight and the teams that you were pulling for. Maybe you were just kind of surfing around and listening to different things and your takes on those games. The Clinton and Brandon game is tied right now. If you got any fans out there that would like to tell us what's going on with that, we'd love to hear about it.
All right, now Brandon's ahead 42-35.
Okay.
Fourth quarter. Now this is a final. Morton defeated Pearl 35-28.
There you go.
That's a little. I mean, Morton lost. Pearl lost last week. Joel, help me.
It was Ridgeland, I think.
Yeah, it was Ridgeland. That's exactly right. And so for the Pirates, they got off to a really good start in their first game, but then to drop two, and Morton, is a couple of divisions down, so that's a little bit of a surprise there.
Cougars from Northwest Rankin struggling this year, now go 0-3. A final from them, Madison Central 48-3. So they had a trip across town, and that one didn't go quite as planned either. So 48-3 victory for Madison Central, and we should be hearing from somebody from Madison Central here in just a little bit. At least we're hoping that we will. So, let's see. What have we got here? Yep. Nope. We don't have anybody on that. We've got nobody on that.
We've got some callers coming in, but I don't have names yet.
All right. So we do have, I see Ty is on the phone with somebody, so we'll get that information here as it comes up. Again, 48-3 win for Madison Central over Northwest. Morton beating Pearl 35-28. Picayune over Gulfport. No love lost there on that one, 21-7 as Picayune goes undefeated now.
South Panola defeated Memphis Central. Central. It's north. Memphis Central. South Panola 41, Memphis Central 7 was the final.
All right. And Jackson Academy, let's see, did they travel? They were at Jackson Academy tonight, weren't they, against St. Joe?
I'm not sure where the game was. The last thing I saw was a halftime score, and Jackson Academy was ahead 14-6 at the half.
14-6, yeah. I don't have any numbers on them at this point, so we'll see what's going on there. And rumor has it that Warren Central and Germantown did not get their game completed tonight due to weather. We'll see if we can find out something from them if either Reed Vance or Jared Schatz is listening to the scoreboard. You guys give us a call and let us know what the status is on that matchup, and we'll get that information out as quickly as we can. Again, 1-877-MPB-RING, 1-877-MPB-RING, all around the state, no matter where you are. If you're headed home from a game, please do drive safely. And watch out. It's September. Watch out for them deers.
Yeah.
Because they might be out. You never know, especially after a night like tonight, the rain pushing them around. Usually they'll lay down.
I saw one out calling in my neighborhood.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the funny thing. I have a lot of hunter friends, and they spend, the fall and the winter, and they strive, and they're trying to get the, and I've got deer going all the way through my neighborhood. They eat up my plants, you know.
Right.
I just think it's so funny. Here's a final. South Haven 33, Lafayette 28 was the final there.
Okay.
South Haven
All right.
getting the win.
All righty.
Well, we'll probably just have to finish up here. We don't have enough time. We have a caller, but we'll hold them off because we're going to be headed into a commercial break in a minute and 10 seconds.
Catch
so
him
we'll let
on
you guys
the-
just finish up and lead
Catch
us in
him
the
on
commercial.
all right, catch him on the backside of that break, and when we do come back, we'll see if we can get in touch with some of these guys. Greg Flynn from the Pearl Pirates. Hopefully, we'll hear from him. Hoping to hear from Kerry Metzler, the voice of the Picayune Maroon Tide, and the Mets. Usually pretty good about calling in, and we might even get a call in here from Dr. Dave somewhere under a bunker in North Carolina.
The caller that's on hold that we'll have when we come back is Caleb Hamill. He is the broadcaster for PCS, and
Okay.
he'll be talking about that side of the game against Hartfield.
All right, so Caleb, my friend, you hang on the phone. We'd love to hear your breakdown of that win for you guys over Hartfield, and so we'll have that for you on the other side of the break as we get ready to head into that break. Again, 1-877-MPB-RING is the number that you can get us here for Friday night under the lights all across the state, bringing you all the scores as they happen and as they come in. Stick around. We've got more on the way for Friday night under the lights.
Mississippians love football, and our high schools throughout Mississippi stay connected with their students, parents, and community by live streaming events, including football through WSN Live. WSN Live provides your school with everything you need for professional and seamless live streams that are easy for students to run, and your fans can watch online from anywhere on any device. With WSN Live, your school gets the right gear, a rock-solid network, and game-time tech support. Learn more at WSNLive.com.
Malones are competitive people. Come from a deep line with my father. There were 9 in his family, and they had to fight for everything they had.
My dad didn't allow us to have any quit in us. I mean, everything we did, we pushed hard. This isn't a job to us, it's our passion. We were bred to do this.
Man, that game was awesome.
Yeah, and I'm thirsty.
And I'm out of gas.
But we have to hurry because I have to be home at 11.
No worries. There's a Blue Sky convenience store at our next exit.
Yes, and they're fast and friendly and will get us on the road quickly.
And they have great gas prices.
All in favor of Blue Sky, say aye.
Aye.
Blue Sky convenience stores with locations all over Mississippi and one probably right near you. Blue Sky. They're always fast, fresh, and friendly.
Hey guys, this is my friend Barry.
Unlimited data, Barry?
Ranked #1 in customer service by J.D. Power, Barry.
Let me take your coat, you little award winner, you.
Actually, that's my fur. Oh, be careful of the man's fur.
You know I'd love to be there. It's just super far.
That's not that far.
We have unlimited data. We can chat all we want. I'm comfy.
But it's like 10 feet.
Like I said, super far.
Back here at Friday Night Under the Lights, Don Barnes along with you, and we've got George Broadstreet giving you all the scores as they come to us. And, of course, Joel Norris here, and coming up in about a little less than an hour, we'll have a rundown on Crazy Eights and the 8-man football, which is intriguing to me because it's just one of those really different things, and Mississippi doesn't have a lot of it, but what they do is some great competition, so we're looking forward to hearing that from you. All right, so we got Caleb on the line. He is the voice of, Presbyterian Christian, yes, and a win over Hartfield tonight. Welcome to the show, Caleb. Tell us a little bit about what you saw tonight and how it went down.
Well, glad to be on tonight, guys. And yeah, for PCS, this has been a tall task for them ever since they have been part of the biggest conference or the biggest classification in the NAIS, just trying to take on these Jackson metro area football teams. Tonight for PCS, it was a huge all-around effort, especially on the defensive side, to really complete this game start to finish. In fact, the halftime score was 14-7, and they were able to hold it there for the remainder of the ball game. But I tell you, what really tells this story is the fact that on PCS's first drive, after they gave up an interception that was returned all the way to their 2-yard line, that was the only drive that resulted in a Hartfield score all night. Otherwise, when they were outside of the 2-yard line, PCS was able to stop them, forcing punts, forcing 3 or 4 and outs, and also forcing turnovers all night long. And to give you a little bio on PCS this season, this is a group that's under new direction. Coach Bobby Carr, who's a championship coach out of Alabama, coached at Autauga Academy. I think out of the last 6 years, he was a state champion 4 of those times. And so he's come here to PCS, and he's brought with him a talented receiver named Jalen Anderson, whole new area living in Hattiesburg. And after week 1, the starting quarterback for PCS goes down to where they're playing a backup that had not played quarterback since junior high.
Wow.
Named Cannon Crowder. And after losing their week 1 game to Simpson, have battled back with a couple easier wins against Silliman Institute and Columbia Academy, really had their backs against the wall and come away with 2 big connections between those 2 guys, Cannon Crowder to Jalen Anderson, to win it 14-7.
Were the field conditions, now, as I understand it, Hartfield has a turf there, right?
They do. And we had all kinds of different rain. I felt like I was Forrest Gump trying to describe it. A little bit of singing rain.
You're the second person to say it like that.
Exactly. It took the third quarter before we had big old fat rain. But honestly, some people may chalk up this win to the conditions weren't the best, but honestly, it was a great defensive effort for PCS all around. And a little factoid for you, PCS has not had this win over a Jackson Metro team since winning over Jackson Prep October 14th, 2016. Been almost 6 years.
Wow.
Since they were able to win over a Jackson Metro team.
How big is that program there at PCS? How many guys you got on the team?
I haven't tallied it up in a long time, but it will fill up a sheet with small point font. I can tell you that. I think PCS has more than Hartfield.
Okay.
At the bottom, as far as a number is concerned, and driving right now, I couldn't pull that out and tell you, but it is in excess of 40 guys, if I had to say.
Well, we definitely don't want you to get run off the road just trying to find that kind of information, but it gives us an idea. And so a new coach. And that's still a very good win and a great direction for you guys to be headed in. So hope you have a great success going through and drive safely on your way back into where home is for you, Caleb. And we do appreciate you calling your report tonight.
Appreciate it, guys. And just like Coach said, this team is a lot better, or is going to be a lot better past week 4 than they were week 1, and they've already proved it. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You bet. Thank you.
Hey, Don, we've got Daryl Palmer from Northwest Rankin on the phone.
DP, how you doing, buddy?
I'm glad I'm on the way home after just 3 hours, even with an hour and 3-minute rain delay.
Are you driving or swimming?
I'm swimming right now through Madison County, south end.
I would imagine that you probably are. Well, tell us about it.
Well, let's just say that last year, Madison Central won a state championship. They lost to Brandon last week. Had one of the Madison folks tell me tonight after the game, all they're looking for is a rematch with Brandon, and which would be another state championship. And I don't see anything that's going to stop Madison Central from getting there.
Right.
MAIS has had the running clock with the 35-point rule for, I think, 5 or 6 years. I'm probably off on that, but I know they've had it for a few years. MHSAA decided to put it in this year, and tonight I was glad to see it. We lost 48-3, and it wasn't that close.
So what you're telling me is it was a little bit worse than it sounds.
Yes.
and
Madison was good. Take nothing away from them. Big Sutton's the real deal. They've got some good running backs and Pullen and Brown and some good receivers. Their defense was the key tonight. Their offensive front and their defensive front pretty much handled the line of scrimmage all night. We didn't have an answer. I know Coach Cooper and his staff. We've just finished Murderers Row. I mean, we played Ridgeland, Clinton, and Madison Central in our 3 pre-region games. And luckily, we've got an off week next week. We'll get ready, and we'll host Meridian on Thursday the 22nd for homecoming as we begin region play. And I expect to see a totally different team. We've got a lot better team than we put on the field tonight. I think Madison hit us in the face early, and we never got up.
All right. Well, and that can happen, and we know it from week to week, and especially in Mississippi, the football is pretty unpredictable, especially once you get towards the middle of the season. Anything can start happening there, and if you've got anything to build on, then there's always hope that it will just be you'll be in a completely different place than you are right now, thinking, how in the world are we going to survive this? But like you said, you run through 3 tough games like that, and then you get a week off. That's going to help a lot because you get to focus on all the things that you did wrong, and you build on those things, and you get a little extra time to do that, and you come back fresh. And then when you get into region play, you just never know what could happen.
That's it, and that's what we got to do now. And I know that's what the staff will work on this next 10 days, 9 days before we play again on the 22nd. So I'll be there and ready to go again.
You got to hit the golf course in the morning?
I will be at work at the golf course tomorrow.
Mopping
I will
up?
say this. Of course, I work at a golf course now full time.
Right.
But when I leave tomorrow night after I get through my college duties tomorrow night at Belhaven, I'm heading to Panama City for weeks. I'm getting out of Dodge.
Attaboy. Maybe it won't be raining down there.
That's right. Hey, y'all have fun. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right, Daryl. Thank you, brother. Good to hear from you.
You bet. Later.
Don, we got Kerry Metzler, Picayune Maroon Tide, on the phone to visit with you.
It has been entirely too long since I have seen your face or heard your voice. Kerry, how are you, brother?
Doing great, man. Good to hear you on the air tonight.
I am glad to be here and looking forward to hearing from what you've got to tell me because you guys had some fun tonight.
Well, played a good Gulfport team. They came in at 2-0. John Archie does a great job at Gulfport. They always got great athletes, and no different tonight. They gave us all we wanted for the first half, 7-0 Picayune on top, and then in the second half, Chris Davis, we call him Quick Chris, 2 touchdown runs, one to 32 yards, one to 37 yards. Chris is legit sub 4.4. He can go. He's only a junior. Everybody wants him, but he's got to wait a year to get him. Dante Dowdell rushed for 103 yards tonight. Of course, he's an Oregon commit. He did that on 24 carries. Davis, 117 yards on just 6 carries, 2 of those for both the 32 and 37-yard touchdown. Tide wins at 21-7. Gulfport gets a late touchdown on a run, by a 10-yard run by quarterback Jacob Palazzo. But, Gulfport, very physical up front. Post-game report talking to some of our interior linemen, said the most physical team we played in a long time between the trenches. So they're going to be a contender down in the coast there at 6A. But a good win for the Maroon Tide tonight, at home tonight after winning on the road at Poplarville to open the season, winning last week at Jeff Davis. A win tonight. Next week we finish out our pre-region games. We'll take on the Alphaville Warriors in Picayune. But a good effort from Maroon Tide tonight to get the win.
Was it as wet down there as it was here tonight?
No, it drizzled. We've been lucky. I've been watching the radar most of the day. I'm kind of a weather freak, among other things. But just watching the rain, it all kind of stayed west and north of us. We were very fortunate here today in Picayune. Of course, we have artificial turf on our stadium, in our field, I should say, in our stadium. But we did not get any rain until about 10 minutes ago. And I wouldn't even call it rain, more of a mist. It's kind of like that, where you drive out the end of the car wash, it just kind of flutters on you. That's kind of what we had down here. Best way to describe it.
Don't you worry. You're going to get some of this downstream flooding that came from us.
I will say this. We've got a lot of efforts down here at our local sheriff's department, first responders, a bunch of groups. They've been sending a lot of supplies up there. We pray, concerned about those people in Jackson impacted by this terrible, terrible thing that happened to them. We all take things for granted in our day-to-day life, and just so those folks up in the Jackson area know, you've been in our prayers down here.
Well, thank you, buddy. We appreciate that so much. And for all of you down there on the coast, that when we came running to you and when you needed us, you do the same for us when we need it up here, and we just appreciate that so much. Thank you, man.
That's why we call it Mississippi. We don't miss anything. We take care of our own.
You doggone right, my friend. So good to hear your voice. I can't wait to see you.
Yeah, quick shout-out to Chris in the background. Chris, thanks for all your technical help over the years. You've got me through a lot. We appreciate you.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a good
All right, bud. Drive safe.
Don, we'll try to slip Harold, who wants to talk about pedal, in here before we go to break.
All right, Harold, we got just a couple of minutes here, buddy, before we have to go to break real quick. What you got for us on pedal tonight?
Guys, it was just a hard-fought game for the Pedal Panthers. They come up short 20-16 tonight. I've seen some good plays on that part of the Petal Panthers tonight. Two good onside kicks that should have been some scores. They played their heart out. They are a good, well coached ball club. I sent out all my praises to them because every one of those coaches work with those boys every day, and so we got a tough one coming up next week. When the Laurel Tornadoes come to Petal, and that'll be a good ball game between two good 2-1 ball teams.
Have you guys got any distance? The play that you had tonight, will it expand as you go through the season?
I don't know, guys. I couldn't say on that right now. I do know that our players from Petal are up there with John Jackson right now. We know that the mayors from Hattiesburg and Petal sent some water up there, and we sent our condolences up that way to y'all. And y'all are doing a great job. I mean, I've enjoyed working with this show since I first got started with it. Never thought that I'd be welcome in aboard like I have been, but I've enjoyed it.
Well, we appreciate having you out there. Petal drops one tonight by 4, 20-16. Go ahead, George.
Well, I was going to ask him if that was the final, 20-16.
It is a final, George, yes.
Okay.
It was a final. It was 20-16. They had a chance. And they had their chances. I mean, they played good ball. I'm not gonna make no excuses for the coaching staff. The coaching staff is there. They are playing. They are getting these kids ready. They get out there. They do what they can.
All right, we got to get out of here. Friday night, Under the Lights, coming back in just moments. Thank you for the call.
When you hear the words blue sky, it means clear sailing. When you stop at a Blue Sky convenience store to fill you or your vehicle up, it'll also be clear sailing. Fuel at competitive prices and a total convenience store with the beverages and your favorite foods that you'll come back for. When you stop at Blue Sky, it means clear sailing. Blue Sky wants you to have a great holiday season and hopes that you enjoyed today's game. Blue Sky, fast, fresh, and friendly.
Hey guys, this is my friend Barry.
Unlimited data, Barry?
Ring #1 in customer service by J.D. Power, Barry.
Let me take your coat, you little award winner, you.
Actually, that's my fur. Oh, be careful of the man's fur.
Malones are competitive people. Come from a deep line with my father. There were 9 in his family, and they had to fight for everything they had.
My dad didn't allow us to have any quit in us. I mean, everything we did, we pushed hard. This isn't a job to us, it's our passion. We were bred to do this.
You know I'd love to be there. It's just super far.
That's not that far.
We have unlimited data. We can chat all we want. I'm comfy.
But it's like 10 feet.
Like I said, super far.
Get your school on the network now.
We're back at MPB Studios. Friday night Under the Lights. Don Barnes, George Broadstreet, Joel Norris, and a host of others all around the state who call in and provide us with the information that we need. If you'd like to be one of those, you can join us at 877-MPB-RING. That's 1-877-MPB-RING, and give us your breakdown on the scores of the game that you saw tonight. Love to hear from you. And I think this is right. If my phone is doing what it's supposed to do, 5 minutes to go for Brandon and Clinton, and it's 42-35 Brandon.
Yeah, and it's quarter till 11.
Well, at least they don't have far to drive, those two.
No, maybe not. A couple more finals, Don. Boca Chica over Enterprise 38-14. Collierville shut out Center Hill 42-0. It was Kemper County 14, Forest 0. Kosciuszko got a win over Lewisburg 19-14. South Haven defeated Lafayette 33-28. And Starkville over Olive Branch 42-10. Those are some finals.
All right. So we will probably be getting a lot of information in the 11 o'clock hour from people as games will be finishing up. A lot of those around the state were in delay due to, as you know, the weather has just been horrid this evening. And it started, about 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah,
Bottom just fell out.
It just depends on where you were.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, if you're in the right spot, I mean, we got a lot of rain here in the metro area about middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, deceptively nice this morning. It was
nice.
It was
beautiful this morning.
Comfortable. The temperatures were right. And as I understand it, it might cool off a little bit next week. I think our highs are only supposed to be like in the low 80s.
Yeah.
And so that'll be nice as we kind of creep on towards fall, which is what we get, like a 2-week fall, and then 3-day winter, and then it's spring.
Right back to
So that's the way it goes. Welcome to Mississippi. If you're not from here and you don't like the weather, just stick around. It'll change real quick. So, okay. So we've got a couple of minutes left here in the hour, and hopefully we're going to be hearing from Tommy Barnett with the JA Raiders. We were hoping to hear from him in the 10 o'clock hour, and also we're hoping to get a report from Josh West with Tri-County Rebels. They were way down in Louisiana playing tonight, and so I don't know if we'll get to hear from him tonight or not. We hopefully we'll get to hear what he's got to say.
Let me give you some more finals. Florence beat McGee 43-7. Mendenhall beat Laurel 13-10. Columbia 20, Petal 16 was the final. Morton defeated Pearl tonight 35-28. Madison Central rolled over Northwest Rankin 48-3. It was Raleigh 46, Taylorsville 12. Picayune over Gulfport 21-7. Poplarville shut out Lumberton 48-0. Tupelo defeated Corinth 42-10. Lawrence County 43, Natchez 30. It was Terry shutting out Murrah 35-0. Wayne County defeated Tylertown 42-13. Ocean Springs shut out George County 36-0. Pontotoc 10, Choctaw County 6, Pass Christian 21, Purvis 14. Bay over Long Beach 42-21. Some MAIS scores. We mentioned Jackson Prep defeated Lamar 44-9. It was Canton over Oak Hill 40-6. Park Lane had a win over Cathedral tonight by the score of 46-7.
We've got Greg Flynn on the phone.
All right.
Talking about Pearl. Here he is.
Greg Flynn, the voice of the Pearl Pirates. How you doing tonight, my friend?
Oh, I'm in shock.
I guess you kind of are.
I don't even know how to quite explain that. I mean, that was just really weird, losing 35-34 in overtime on a missed extra point.
Oh.
But clearly decided long before that. I mean, it's
right. Yeah.
That game was decided long before that. So I don't put anything on the poor kicker, sophomore kicker that missed that kick.
Well, you have called them the heart attack kids for years, and
they definitely did that tonight. It was just surreal. It's one of those games. When you go into it and you're like, oh, they're playing a 3A Morton team, and
yep.
Oh, it's only a matter of time. We're up 20-7, and then the longer you let them hang around, and Morton was just scrappy, and they've got a pretty good young quarterback in Ely and some decent wide receivers. And that's all they did was throw it up, and they went and got the balls.
You keep hearing this name Ely pop up in different places around the state now, and you got to wonder how many of them are interconnected, and the athleticism that goes with that is a family trademark.
Well, it was certainly on display, and he's a very good young quarterback.
Yeah,
can run the ball, can throw the football, very mobile. Pretty smart, and it was just a rainy, misty. It was just one of those sleepwalking games. When people wake up and they look and they're going to be like, oh my God, did Morton really beat Pearl? Yeah, they did, and they just outplayed the Pirates.
They just were able to get in front and stay there. And you know what? It will happen like we have said. We said it 5 minutes ago. We said it in the broadcast. You never know with Mississippi football what's going to happen from one Friday to the next, and it's always interesting to shake it out at the end of the night and see what really took place.
Well, the biggest key is, and I think unfortunately people can always point to this, but never overlook an opponent.
Right.
Never. I mean that's why you play the games. You can be better than them on paper and everything deeper and bigger, stronger, faster, but never underestimate an opponent, ever.
All right, my friend. Well, we do appreciate you giving us a buzz tonight, and unfortunately took one on the chin tonight. Pearl drops one by one in a heartbreaker overtime, and weather obviously probably played a factor in that. But like you said, you never underestimate your opponent, and tonight they learned a little lesson in that.
Yes, sir.
All right, Greg. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk with you again next week. Okay.
All right, y'all be good.
All right, Greg Flynn there, Pearl Pirates play-by-play. You are going to talk about some crazy eight-man football here in just a minute. Do you get to go and watch these games? Do you check them out? How does that work for you?
I usually just get live updates from the coaches himself, but I was thinking about going in the next couple of weeks to an 8-man game up to Manchester, Yazoo City, Mississippi.
That's not too far.
Yeah, not too far. Just to try to catch a game and then come down to FNUTL and be like, oh,
So have you ever been to one?
I have.
Okay.
I've been to the 1A and 2A championship games for the past 2 years.
I remember back when Park Place had an 8-man team, and it's just different.
Hillcrest is now back in 8-man.
Are they?
Yeah, they were an 8-man before, then they moved up. Now they're back at 8-man.
Okay. All right.
Talking about Park Place, isn't that the team that dropped out of 12-man? I wonder if they're going to come back next year because they dropped out this year.
Oh, did they?
They're not playing.
I hadn't heard that.
They're playing JV, but they're not playing varsity. I wonder if they're going to come back in 8-man next year.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the biggest school, but it's right there in the heart of Rankin County, right on the line, Pearl and Brandon there at Park Place Baptist, and nice school, just not big.
And Claiborne Academy drops they're 8-man, so they dropped their season because they didn't have enough players.
Gotcha.
I mean, an 8-man, Joel. I mean, I know, obviously there are 8 on each side, but the field's the same, right?
80-yard field instead of 100. Yeah, 80 yards.
Okay.
Instead of 100 yards.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. But the width is basically the same?
40. Right now, yeah, 40.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
40
it's
width, 80 yards.
It's a little bit narrower.
Yeah, a little bit narrower, fast-paced.
Yeah.
Just how we like it. Now, there's some scores that I have tonight that are kind of low score, but, I mean, not like a typical 8-man score, but from the coaches, they said the rain was a problem for them. That's why the scores were a little bit lower.
Okay. Well, we will get those in the 11 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
We've got John Weaver on the phone.
Okay.
To talk about MRA. Let me see. I think he's got him put where I can bring him on. Hang on just a second. Here's John.
All right, John, can you hear me out there, buddy?
Hey, Don. I'm here, man.
All right, John Weaver with MRA on the line with us. We thank you for calling in. Tell us about what happened with you guys tonight.
Well, if you drove down Old Canton around 7:30, I think you saw animals going 2x2.
Is the boat as big as they say? That's the question.
We never really saw the boat. We just saw the animal.
Gotcha. Lions and tigers and bears.
And cougars.
And cougars. Talk about that game real quick.
What a night. Simpson Academy is all they are cracked up to be and more. We had three turnovers in the first half. They capitalized on them. It was 14-14 at half. The monsoon came. It was back and forth, smash mouth football. So with the driving rain, we couldn't throw it as much as we'd like. And played smart football, but look, tough. Proud of our kids. We came away with a 27-14 victory. Ford Clark had one of our defensive linemen had an interception on the screen and returned it for the go-ahead touchdown mid-fourth.
So it was one of those. It was 14-14 to the mid-fourth quarter.
Did you guys have to pause play at all, weather related?
We did. We had at half it was fine, and then that's when the rain came down really, really, really hard, and we actually had one lightning delay. So we started the third quarter at 8:50. That was the only delay that we had. It was a lightning delay that was a cell that was coming over the res.
Yep.
And it paused us for a little bit. But I'll tell you what, I'm proud of our kids and the fight they had to win that type of game against a very good ball club that's going to go deep in 5A.
We are seeing a little different face of football than it's the big three that have always been out there in the academy ball are starting to see some of these smaller teams come back and tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, we're still here.
Yeah, and look, I'm always of this. I started in single A and blessed to be at MRA for the past 12 years, but I think it's just like baseball. You got to put 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense.
Yep.
And, everybody's going to give their best on Friday night because they're so precious. Friday night football is so precious, especially in Mississippi. And look, we have some of the best coaches in our association. I'll tell you that right now. And in MIS, we have some of the best coaches. And look, Todd Mangum coaches Simpson. And you know what kind of legacy he had in MHSAA when he was at Wayne County. And, perennial winners.
Yep.
And he's doing the same thing at Simpson now. They got him back to what Simpson Academy football is about.
Quick 20 seconds left. Who you got next week?
Oh, we open up conference play. We head over to JA.
All right. Well, that'll be fun.
We open up conference play on the road, head down to Ridgewood Road, and play the Raiders JA. It's going to be an exciting night.
All right, John. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. MRA taking a win over Simpson tonight, 27-14. Hard-fought ball game in the pouring down rain. And we've got another hour ahead, so you stay right here with us at MPB for Friday Night Under the Lights. Back in a moment.
When you hear the words blue sky, it means clear sailing. When you stop at a Blue Sky convenience store to fill you or your vehicle up, it'll also be clear sailing. Fuel at competitive prices and a total convenience store with the beverages and your favorite foods that you'll come back for. When you stop at Blue Sky, it means clear sailing. Blue Sky wants you to have a great holiday season and hopes that you enjoyed today's game. Blue Sky, fast, fresh, and friendly.
Hey guys, this is my friend Barry.
Unlimited data, Barry?
Ring #1 in customer service by J.D. Power, Barry.
Let me take your coat, you little award winner, you.
Actually, that's my fur. Oh, be careful of the man's fur.
Malones are competitive people. Come from a deep line with my father. There were 9 in his family, and they had to fight for everything they had.
My dad didn't allow us to have any quit in us. I mean, everything we did, we pushed hard. This isn't a job to us, it's our passion. We were bred to do this.
You know I'd love to be there. It's just super far.
That's not that far.
We have unlimited data. We can chat all we want. I'm comfy.
But it's like 10 feet.
Like I said, super far.
Get your school on the network now.
Back here on Friday Night Under the Lights, Don Barnes, George Broadstreet, and of course Joel Norris along with us for a soggy Friday night of football. And all over the state we are hearing reports of lots and lots of of wet football games. And one that probably was pretty wet but also pretty exciting was the Brandon-Clinton matchup and 42-35 win for number one Brandon. And Chris, the sideline reporter guy out there for us on the phone with us. Chris, how you doing, man? You stayed. Are you dried out yet?
I'm dry. I'm tired. Decided the 7:30 kickoff was a great idea.
And how long did this one last?
Right under 3 hours. I mean,
wow.
Of course, you see the score and back and forth. No real separation by either team. Brandon did go up by 14 in the third quarter, but Clinton stormed right back. And I will tell you this right now: I underestimated Clinton myself. I went out and saw their first game this year against Ocean Springs. Of course, we know Ocean Springs is a really good ball club. But Clinton has a great team and a deadly duo in the backfield. Clinton will not go quietly throughout this season. Hats off to that team. They played a really, really good game.
Brandon has a new head coach, and as I understand it, Tyler Peterson calling the plays across the field for you tonight. Did that play any factor into it?
I think that, I talked to Coach Williams at halftime. Coach knew exactly what they were going to run.
Yep.
They saw the film. They knew exactly what was coming. As he said, they just didn't execute well in the first half. 21-21 going into half. Clinton got a late drive, a penalty. It was a fourth and goal situation. I do believe it's fourth and goal, third and goal with 8 seconds left to go. In the half, a penalty on Brandon. Had 12 men on the field, kind of pushed it up to about a third and goal from the one.
Yeah.
And Clinton was able to tie it up, and when they tied it up, had a lot of momentum. Well, Brandon came out, made those adjustments early in the third quarter, and was able to get Clinton off the field 2 drives in a row and scored off both of those to go up 35-21. But Clinton came right back and just, it was back and forth the entire game. Anything that could possibly happen in this game probably happened. It was just exciting, and it's one of those games, Russ, you've been doing this a long time, that'll take the breath out of you and wear you out. That was one of those games.
Well, yeah, and everybody's been there, and I'll tell you what, when you get a game like that back and forth, that 3 hours can seem like 4 hours, and when you add the weather to it, it makes it even worse. So you get a little bit of rest tonight. Where does Brandon go for next week?
Much needed, actually a bye week before they start region play against Terry the following week. So got a couple guys banged up. Blunt goes out first play of the game, just precautionary, nothing serious, but did not play the rest of the game. So that had an impact on that as well. But hats out to Quincy Phillips, who's the sophomore running back coming behind those two. Stepped up, and they always say the next man up, and Quincy Phillips did a great job tonight. Special teams. Running the football, lined up at receiver a few times, made some big plays when it mattered the most to kind of push Brandon over the edge to get that victory tonight. So, but again, off week next week, couldn't come at a better time for Brandon.
All right, pal, we appreciate you calling in tonight. That's Chris. Brandon winning over a tough Clinton team tonight, 42-35, and another monsoon there on the Clinton football field as well. So we do appreciate you guys being out there with us tonight, and be careful for you. Talk to you in a couple of weeks. All right, we got Jeff Hager on the phone, and I believe he's got an update for us on everything coastal football down on the Gulf Coast. John, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the broadcast. I'm sorry, Jeff, to the broadcast.
Hey, it's a four-letter check.
You've been called worse?
Well, it's usually the Hager that gets butchered on the misspelling.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, exciting night, and I heard you guys talking about some wet weather. We got pretty lucky down here. I was dry down at Ocean Springs versus George County, and Ocean Springs is a problem. They look almost, I don't know if I want to say better than last year. I know they lost a lot, but they brought back a lot, and every win so far has been very decisive. They led George County 33-0 at halftime, and that's including throwing a pick in the end zone. So they, get a fumble, go right back. They got a safety. They got a punter that can pin it inside the 5-yard line. They really have a lot of ways they can beat you. So I know Bray Hubbard gets a lot of the love, and deservedly so. But, they had a running back that took it 61 yards untouched, Will Smith Jr. That was the second play of the game, and they really just rolled from there. And the other game I was at tonight was St. Martin hosting West Marion, and I think St. Martin took a tough one last week, but they were wire to wire, and I guess they should over a smaller program. But 48-20 was the final score in that one, and they were winning 34-6. Early in the second quarter, so that one was just a track meet. And 4-star wide receiver Norrell White. I only saw one of his touchdowns in person. I heard he had one where he took one of those bubble screens, brought it all the way back across the field, nothing doing there, and then brought it all the way back across the field for some kind of 90-yard touchdown. So I've still yet to see the video of that, but I'm very excited to, hopefully. And then the one on the other side of the coast in the west, you got Picayune holding it down against Gulfport, and Gulfport looks really improved as well, but Picayune kind of showing off the defense as well as that 1-2 punch with Oregon commit Dante Dowdell, and then the Lightning to his thunder, Chris Davis scoring a couple times there. So they were up 21-0 at one point in the second half and winning 21-7. So I guess my major takeaways from the games I was at and the highlights that we had on our show tonight is that, as far as the coast is concerned, Ocean Springs is the class of 6A and Picayune is the class of 5A until somebody else proves otherwise.
Right, and that's a great report. I mean, you encapsulated everything just perfectly, and I tell you what, we need about 5 more of you just out there covering it all and giving us several rundowns all at once. But we do appreciate the information. Are you on the road or are you back home now?
Oh no, I'm still at the station. Just posted some of these highlights to the website, and if you got time for a few more scores, we got Bankley 35-26 over Moss Point. Bay High 42-21 over Long Beach, East Central 35-20 over South Pike, Pasquarshant 21-14 over Purvis, and then a couple of scores here that stand out. Jefferson Davis 35-34 over D'Iberville in overtime. That's going to be a tough ride back for the Warriors.
Yeah.
And how about West Harrison 3-0 for the first time in program history, 47-46 win over St. Helena College. I'd be lying if I said I knew where that was, but still very impressive job by Coach Quincy Patrick.
Well, things are going to start ramping up now as we get closer and closer to region play, and that's when we all know that the cap can come off the bottle, and anything can happen there. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. But we do appreciate you calling in tonight, Jeff, and hope you have a great night. We'll talk to you again next week. How about that?
Absolutely. You guys have a great weekend.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Okay, this has been one of those nights where there's a lot of confusion. Okay,
Mhm.
We've kind of put that on the ground already. But we had an early report that Warren Central and Germantown were not that game was canceled. Apparently, they're still playing.
Playing now.
They're playing now. And I'm not sure exactly where it is in the game. It's in the second half,
No,
I
fourth
believe.
quarter. Fourth quarter, a little less than 8 minutes left.
Warren Central's ahead of Germantown 21-13. So that game is in progress. It is almost 10 after 11. So that's it's a little late. But.
And how we know that is our buddy Noah, who works here, is doing the radio engineering for that game.
Okay.
So he can't get free. Dave Shows, Dr. Dave is on the phone.
Dr. Dave. Deep in a bunker in North Carolina. What are we doing tonight, sir?
Well, I'm working on scores, guys. How about y'all?
Well, we thought we might try to squeeze a few in over the next 40 minutes or so.
By the way, St. Helena is in Louisiana.
I thought it was, but at what part of Louisiana are we talking about? On the river or down at the bayou?
Dan St. Tammany Parish, I think.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure. But, by the way, congratulations, West Harrison. First 3-0 start in their history. I mean, they were one of those, that was generated like Germantown just out of thin air. And good for them.
Yeah. I think that's exciting, and they've got something moving, and that momentum can put them in a really sweet spot here in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. Or they can hit Gulfport and Biloxi, and it can get rough, but we'll see.
Well, they do have a few places that they have to go that they may not want to, but we'll find out what they're made of when we get there, right?
You bet.
All right. So tell us a little bit about some of the other things that you help us out with, like understand we've got our live feed going now on Facebook and also on Twitter.
That's correct. We have YouTube, and we have Facebook, and of course we have Roku. We have the Fire Stick. We have the traditional website, and of course the mobile website. So if you've got our apps, you can pick up the show that way. what we started to do now, instead of archiving the podcast, which I have done for 20 years now, we're no longer archiving the podcasts. We're archiving the actual shows on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you miss any part of the show, just go to YouTube to our channel there. Just type in FNUTL and look for our channel, and you'll find all of the backups there.
And for those that are listening for the first time and they said, what in the world is a FNUTL? That is FNUTL, Friday Night Under the Lights.
Lights. Yep.
So there we go. Not light,
years.
lights.
Yes.
For how many years? You know exactly how many years this has been going on.
Well, now, see, here's it started, I think, in 92, and that was in radio, but Russ in 2001 wanted it to be the first radio show on the internet for Mississippi.
Yeah.
And so we started, actually over 20 years ago, being online.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you've been there through all of it, and we appreciate you.
Oh, hey, no problem. And Russ is never satisfied. So next year.
He's happy, but he could always be happier, is what you're saying.
Right, exactly. So what have you done for me this year?
Well, it sounds like you've done a lot. Now that I know that I can go back and I can watch this stuff on my big screen in my living room, that's even better.
Oh, you bet. And we'll be doing that at the end of the year, too, for the All-Star games.
We might all have to just get together and have a cookout and watch some replays.
There you go. That's the idea.
We'll meet somewhere between here and North Carolina.
Oh, let's see. Alabama? I'll tell you what. I'll come to Mississippi, guys. Okay?
That's perfect. That's perfect. I've got the place we can do it. We'll fire up the grill and we'll have a plus time.
I'll be there, guys.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Doc. We appreciate you. Dr. Dave right there.
Hey, Don, we've got Tommy Barnhart on hold, but we're 45 seconds from a break. So when we come back, we'll get him and then have our 8-man segment.
All right, Tommy, you hang on the line. We'll get that rundown from J.A. from you and see what else is going on around the state. And if you just tuned in, well, welcome to the broadcast. 1-877-MPB-RING is the number that you can call to be a part of the show. And we will be right back here in just a few more minutes. We're going to get back into another segment. We will have Tommy Barnett on the phone, and we'll also be talking 8-man football Crazy Eights with Joel Norris right after this when we get back on Friday Night Under the Lights.
Man, that game was awesome.
Yeah, and I'm thirsty.
And I'm out of gas.
But we have to hurry because I have to be home at 11.
No worries. There's a Blue Sky convenience store at our next exit.
Yes, and they're fast and friendly and will get us on the road quickly.
And they have great gas prices.
All in favor of Blue Sky, say aye.
Aye.
Blue Sky convenience stores with locations all over Mississippi and one probably right near you. Blue Sky. They're always fast, fresh, and friendly.
Every day at Malone, we exist to improve our community, embracing technology, empowering people, striving to be better than yesterday. Malone Roofing Services and Friday Night Under the Lights have been impacting Mississippi for decades with the skill and dedication that has developed lasting relationships in our respective fields. For roofing, metal walls, and maintenance, Malone Roofing Services has you covered. Find out more on social media and at ecmalone.com. But for great football, it's Friday Night Under the Lights.
Get your school on the network now.
I started at 23 with nothing but me. And I believe roofing should be a profession and a career. Generations of Malones have proven that there is nothing we can't accomplish. Malone protects people and your things that matter most.
Back here on Friday night under the lights, Don Barnes, George Broadstreet, Joel Norris.
Or Noel Joris.
Or as I've called you, Noel Joris.
I was waiting for you to call me that, but
I used to call you intern. I can't do that anymore. You're still here.
You can call me intern if you want to.
Anytime you want, right?
Anytime.
On the phone, we've got Tommy Barnett, who is over there from Jackson Academy. The Raiders playing football tonight. Thanks for joining in with us, Tommy. How you doing?
Guys, very waterlogged, to say the least. Finally got the game completed against Madison St. Joe after about 4 hours.
Wow.
14-6 at the half. Rain started to come down pretty hard. This is probably 8:20-ish. We kicked the second half off at 9:55. So roughly an hour and a half delay. Jay came out, really just took over second half. Was up 14-6 at the half. Went up 36-6 early fourth quarter. Finally found some offense tonight. Guys have been talking about it all year. Defense played lights out again tonight. Really kept Emil Picarella, kind of out of sync. Really good quarterback, Oregon commit for St. Joe. But found 2 touchdowns on the ground from Merritt Nation and 2 touchdowns through the air from Clayton White. So, guys, Jay leaves Madison with a 4-0 record. And, of course, got the big guys from Old Canton Road come to see us next week at the Brickyard.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we just got off the phone with John Weaver over there, and who was reporting in on that 27-14 win over Simpson. Said Simpson came in to play some football tonight, and so it was a kind of a tough contest for them, but they were able to come out on top. And so, but a big win for you guys tonight. What was the final 36? You say 14?
36-12.
12, okay. All right, so 36-12 over St. Joe. And headed for MRA, or MRA coming to you?
MRA comes to us.
Okay.
So, we actually went there twice last year, once during the regular season and once in the playoffs. So get those guys back to the Brickyard. Should be a fun atmosphere Friday night.
Well, we will definitely be looking forward to hearing from you on a report from that one coming up next week. We appreciate you calling in tonight.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Tommy Barnett right there from JA.
Hey, we need to slip a call in here. We've got Joseph Craven.
Okay.
And he is Hartfield's play-by-play guy, so let's talk to him real quick and then go to Crazy Eights.
Joseph, welcome to the program, my friend. How are you tonight?
Well, I just got done calling a game that was 14-7, and neither team scored in the second half, so I'm a little tired from coming up with ways to talk about defense, I'll be honest with you.
A defensive juggernaut, if you will.
Right. And it really was. I know y'all had a caller a little bit earlier from PCS,
yep.
and he kind of hit the nail on the head in terms of, they came ready. PCS looked like a really, really solid squad, a squad that is, getting things better and better, more refined every week. And they hit Hartfield and just caught them off balance, and the Hawks never really could get anything going on offense at all. And I think on the other side of that as well, though, you have to praise the Hartfield defense, because they also stepped up and had multiple times stopping PCS's offense, even down on the goal line, a few goal line stands as well. So it was 2 defenses that just came out and just hit each other all night long. And if you like watching defense, which I do, it was a whole lot of fun. But if you're also sitting up in the booth calling a game, you run out of things to talk about every so often when it's a game like that. But it was, 2 very physical teams that came out, and full credit to PCS for rising to the occasion and really never letting the Hawks get comfortable or settled whatsoever.
What is the makeup of that team now? Or how young are you guys? Have you got some guys that have come back, or are you looking at having some great players coming back for next year?
Yeah, thankfully there's a good mix. There's several seniors on this Hartfield squad this year that are stepping up. A few guys that have been multi-year contributors that are still there, and a good mix of younger guys as well. There's a freshman who's a starting cornerback who is an absolute stud, and should have a great high school and varsity career.
Good.
We got sophomore defensive end who was a force of nature tonight. We had no rain delays, but I think that was just because he told the rain to hold off. And he
parted the waters, so to speak.
He did, yeah, exactly. This young man, London Simmons is his name. Can't say enough about how well he played. So it's a good mix on this Hartfield squad. I think it just tonight kind of showed a little bit of, where the team has to go to kind of get things sorted out a bit more before we end up going into the end of the season where the rest of the district opponents lie, PCS being the first one that we face tonight, the rest of those opponents towards the end of the season, and just kind of show what we'd have to do to try to get back and make another run for the MAIS 6A championship game like we made last year. So it's a good mix, yeah.
It's been an interesting metamorphosis to watch Hartfield just kind of graduate into where you guys are now, and that program's got a lot of promise, and we're looking forward to hearing more from you guys as we go through the season. We're going to wrap this one up right here for tonight, but kind of a tough loss for you guys tonight, but at the same time, a stepping stone towards something greater as you go forward in the season.
That's what we're hoping. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, buddy. We appreciate you calling in tonight, and we are going to get some more calls in here before the hour is up. But right now, we need to focus on 8-man football and Crazy Eights.
Crazy Eights.
With Joel Norris. Hit it.
Well, to kick it off tonight, we had Lee Academy bouncing back from a loss last week against Marvel Academy. They beat Marvel Academy tonight 51-6. We had Riverdale Academy defeat Briarfield Academy in a close one. Briarfield falls to 0-4. Okay. They were on a trend. They made it to the championship game twice back-to-back years. They're starting off a little slow this year, going 0-4. It's 34-28 Riverdale. They beat Tensall Academy defeated Union Christian 44-6. We had Hillcrest Christian defeat Northeast Baptist 32-0. We had Wilkinson County Christian Academy defeat Christian Collegiate Academy in an upset tonight, 18-14.
Now I believe that was homecoming for Christian, wasn't it? For Clinton.
Yeah, it was a Christian Collegiate Academy in Gulfport, and actually, I think it was homecoming because homecoming starting earlier. Calhoun Academy defeated Hebron Christian to get their first win, 36-8. Prentice Christian defeated Sharkey's Aquina 44-0, and Sharkey's Aquina is starting off a little bit slow. They're 0-4 on the year. Columbus Christian defeated Kemper Academy in a Thursday night game. They defeated Kemper Academy 50-0. That was Columbus Christian getting the win. Bensford Christian defeated Discovery Christian out in Florence. Bensford traveled to Florence, Mississippi. They get the win tonight against Discovery Christian 46-0. Manchester Academy defeats Tallulah Academy in a close one, 36-28. North Sunflower Academy is continuing to roll in a district matchup against Humphreys Academy. 44-0 is the final there. And then Deer Creek School defeated West Memphis Christian 36-0. And
Sounds like he's been doing this all his life.
He's been doing it for a while.
Been doing it. Doing the homework. Just doing the homework.
You got a little podcast that you do with your Crazy Eights too, don't you?
I do. It is promoting FNUTL. It is Friday night before the lights. It drops every Wednesday on Podbean.com. So go online or download the Podbean app to listen on there.
Got his bump in? Did you get paid to do that? Was somebody paying you for that?
No? I got
not yet.
A little bit, and it's a little extra, not too much. Maybe a cent extra, maybe.
Oh man, I left my wallet. I left my wallet in my other pair of pants. Right.
And we're supposed to have a coach
on
you
next week.
We're supposed to have a coach on tonight, but I don't know if he's on right now. Is he not?
No.
All right.
Not yet.
Who's that? Do we know?
He is on. I think according to Ty, he said.
Ty's like, hold on. He's like, hold the phone. Maybe he's calling.
Jared is his name. Jared.
Yeah,
okay, then he's got him on. We'll had Smeltzer.
Yeah, Jared, Riverdale head coach Jared Smeltzer. Coach, how you doing tonight?
No, hang on. I don't have him on yet. You're too fast for me.
That's okay.
I apologize. Too fast.
We can kill a couple.
He's
of
there
seconds.
now.
Oh,
all right, there you go.
Riverdale head coach Jared Smeltzer. How are you, sir?
Doing good.
So y'all got the win tonight against Briarfield Academy. Congratulations, by the way, on that. Talk about tonight and just talk about how you were feeling about everything so far.
Tonight's one of those the games where it's just a dogfight between two teams. Both teams have great kids, but it's a big rivalry. And every time we play them and every time they play us, it's just I mean, it is a true rivalry. And luckily, we came out on top. 30 seconds to go in the ball game. We called a play that we haven't really ran much this year, but we've had in our back pocket. And we scored, and it was the last score of the game. So it was a pretty exciting game. I don't like too many close games. They're fun to be in, but they sure do make you nervous.
Those are the type of games that would make you nervous. Coach, talk about, it was last week y'all played a really tough Tallulah Academy team. Y'all took a loss on that one, but tonight y'all got the bounce back win. Talk about the improvement from last week to this week from your players and your team overall.
You know, my players are competitive. We've made some mistakes, false starts, and holding calls that we try to clean up. You know, we're still trying to get our linebackers to read better. And each and every week we're improving in different things. One thing that I like is, you know, if somebody gets shut down one week, somebody else is stepping up. And we've had Caden Williams step up a couple weeks. Ben Almond stepped up tonight. Ryder Huddleston had a good passing game. I don't have the stats yet, but when I get home, I'll look. I'm pretty sure he threw close to 200 maybe yards, or, you know, he was throwing the ball really well tonight.
Coach, talk about Ryder Huddleston. You talked about him just a minute ago. Talk about how much of a tremendous leader he's been for your team so far this season.
You know, he's just a junior, but he's a true leader. He'll come to the sidelines and tell you what he thinks is working, what's not working, and what we need to do different. He's a manager on the field. He does good things, and if he makes a mistake, he wants the ball back and to prove that, you know, he can do something better. And you know, he's a little banged up right now. We got a couple players that are banged up, but you know, they keep fighting through it, and it's actually helped him pass a little bit better to stay in the pocket and to see the field open up.
Coach, last question before we head out. Who y'all have next week?
We have Chinsaw. Let me tell you, Chinsaw's a great team. They got a lot of weapons.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you joining us here tonight. We'll look forward to talking about that game next week. Thank you for calling on Friday Night Under the Lights.
Thank you so much, Joel.
Thank you. That was Riverdale head coach Jared Smeltzer.
I'm just going to go ahead and take my headset off and go home early and let you finish the show. I mean, just that he's got this down.
No, please don't do that. No, I'm not ready for that commitment yet. Don't do that. You're the host, Don.
All right. Well, you know what? You wrapped it up in perfect time. We've got just a couple of ticks here before we come back for the last half hour of Friday Night Under the Lights.
Let me say one thing. Noah texted and said that Warren Central wins 28-13.
28-13, Warren Central with the win there.
Over Germantown.
All right, over Germantown. We've got a couple of more segments to go, so you stick around. 1-877-MPB-RING if you'd like to be on the program. You just give us a call here at Friday Night Under the Lights. Back in a moment.
Mississippians love football, and our high schools throughout Mississippi stay connected with their students, parents, and community by live streaming events, including football through WSN Live. WSN Live provides your school with everything you need for professional and seamless live streams that are easy for students to run, and your fans can watch online from anywhere on any device. With WSN Live, your school gets the right gear, a rock-solid network, and game-time tech support. Learn more at WSNLive.com.
Malones are competitive people. Come from a deep line with my father. There were 9 in his family, and they had to fight for everything they had.
My dad didn't allow us to have any quit in us. I mean, everything we did, we pushed hard. This isn't a job to us, it's our passion. We were bred to do this.
Man, that game was awesome.
Yeah, and I'm thirsty.
And I'm out of gas.
But we have to hurry because I have to be home at 11.
No worries. There's a Blue Sky convenience store at our next exit.
Yes, and they're fast and friendly and will get us on the road quickly.
And they have great gas prices.
All in favor of Blue Sky say aye.
Aye.
Blue Sky convenience stores with locations all over Mississippi and one probably right near you. Blue Sky. They're always fast, fresh, and friendly.
Hey guys, this is my friend Barry.
Unlimited data, Barry?
Ranked #1 in customer service by J.D. Power, Barry?
Let me take your coat, you little award winner, you.
Actually, that's my fur. Oh, be careful of the man's fur.
You know I'd love to be there. It's just super far.
That's not that far.
We have unlimited data. We can chat all we want. I'm comfy.
But it's like 10 feet.
Like I said, super far.
Night under the lights, Don Barnes, George Broadstreet, Noel Joris.
Noel Joris, Joel Norris.
Joel Norris. I have to do that to him at least a couple of times just to remind him of the fact that he is always...
just to keep his feet on the ground.
Right. He will always be Joel Norris or Noel Joris, one of the two. All right, we got Granny on the phone, and who knows where Granny ended up tonight. So let's find out. What game were you there for, or how many games did you hit tonight?
Hey, Don. Hey, George. How y'all doing?
All right. Good, buddy.
I went to the Raleigh-Taylorsville game tonight at Raleigh.
All right.
And Raleigh played a good game, just like I expected them to. I've heard all week, or all year, actually, about one kid over there. His name is Hit Perkins. So I got over there. Y'all still there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I got over and watched him, and I found another kid that's just like him. They call him one Chocolate and the other than Hit. Now, how about that for two names?
What's the first one's name?
Chocolate and Hit.
Chocolate and Hit Perkins.
Yeah.
Hit Perkins and Chocolate.
Hit Perkins and Chocolate, just Chocolate.
It kind of reminds me of a couple of players that we had for the Hines game last night. One of them's name was Dude, and the other one's name was Tank. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
They couldn't tackle these two guys. I mean, it was a ground show tonight. They get outside. They get outside, get through the middle. I mean, they get the ball, and they capable of scoring every time they touch it.
Well, what was the final score for that one for Raleigh?
Well, it was Raleigh 46, Taylorsville 12.
Okay.
Now, Taylorsville never could get any offensive rhythm. I mean, they did score 12 points, but they really never got in any rhythm, and Raleigh was clicking all night.
You have been doing this for a long time and have been reporting in here at Friday Night Under the Lights, and you've seen 3 games this year?
I've seen three games. That's
Three
right.
games. What's your take on the season at this point?
Well, I think you've got a lot of good teams out there. You've got a lot of new coaches, and you've got a lot of good teams. I mean, you got some teams that you wouldn't think would be in the state championship games. They're probably going to be some of them there that you wouldn't think so.
Yep.
I mean, you've got a lot of good coaches, new places and new faces in new places. I like that.
Well, we are in some areas. Some games or teams have already played 4. Others started 3 weeks ago, and so this is going to be week 3 for them. And we're getting towards that point now where we're starting to get some off weeks. We've got some homecomings coming up, and then we got region play right around the corner. What do you think happens early in region play, and where do you think maybe we end up?
Well, of course, we're gonna win. End up in Hattiesburg, I believe it is. But the rest of the season is gonna be the best. The best is yet to come.
All right, Granny, we appreciate you calling in, buddy. We do appreciate you.
Okay, thank you.
Talk to you next week. All right, there's old Granny. And you're right. He has been doing this a long time.
He's been doing it a while, and he always goes somewhere different. So you ask me, like, who's he calling in for? Well, you don't know. I mean,
right?
He goes a lot of different places, but he goes to a lot of the small town schools, and
some of the best football there.
Some of the best atmospheres. And that's absolutely true.
The caller, and it just slips my mind. Oh, I know who it was. It was Hager. Was talking about the down on the coast, and he was talking about George County.
Yeah.
And I will never, ever forget when we were doing I think it was the peanut games at that point. I don't even think it was a Wendy's game. I think it was as far back as when we were doing the Peanut Farmers Association and Peanut Growers Association games, Peanut Friday night games. And we went to Georgetown, and it was homecoming for them. George County.
Yeah.
And I walked into the gymnasium for their pep rally that morning. It's like 10:30. I got there early that day to set up all the equipment and everything, and so I was there for their pep rally. That was the loudest gymnasium I think I've ever been in, and they were just rocking that place. And then at the game, people were just so friendly and so warm and welcoming, and food like you can't believe. And so that's one of those things that will stand out with me was George County football. And you see them go up and down and up and down. And that happened to be an up year for them, and they were doing really, really well. And it was just an electric atmosphere that was just a lot of fun to be a part of. So wherever you happen to be in the state, you don't have to go to these big stadiums to experience awesome football, because some of these smaller stadiums are places you'll go and there'll be people just packed in around the fence lines because all of this, both sets of bleachers are full. But it will be some of the best football that you'll see.
Absolutely. Great.
You got any more news scores?
Well, I mean, I've got some. Let's see. West Point beat Noxubee County 34-16. We mentioned that Warren Central beat Germantown 28-13. That game finished up about, 10, 15 minutes ago, which just sounds, that's like 4 hours. But, that's what it took to get the games in tonight. Let's see. Let me give you some that we maybe have not mentioned. Sumrall over Seminary 36-20. We mentioned... Madison Central defeated Northwest Rankin 48-3. We've talked about that one. At overtime, Morton defeated Pearl. That one is really. That one sticks out. 35-34. Morton is like a 3A school beating a 6A.
Well,
that's significant.
Greg nailed that. Greg Flynn called in and he said, you can't underestimate anybody that comes to play. And they did. They came to play.
Absolutely. Wayne County defeated Tylertown 42-13. Ocean Springs over George County 36-0. Probably the game in the metro area that was probably one of the more interesting games. Really back and forth. Brandon defeated Clinton 42-35, but that's two pretty good teams, and Clinton's 1-2, but they haven't played a district game yet, so that's significant. Brandon probably one of the better teams, maybe the team that's one of the favorites to make it to the finals in 6A. We mentioned Park Lane over Cathedral 46-7. JA defeated Madison St. Joe 36-12. Jackson Prep 44, Lamar 9. Let's see. MRA defeated Simpson 27-14. Picayune over Gulfport 21-7. Starkville defeated Olive Branch 42-10. Oak Grove and Hattiesburg. The last report we had that was down in the last 2 minutes, Oak Grove 42, Hattiesburg 21. We assumed that was the final there. Mendenhall defeated Laurel. That one just really, that's another one that's kind of sticks out to me.
It just kind of jumps off the page.
13-10 was the final. Columbia defeated Petal 20-16. That could be a little bit of a surprise. Poplarville, no real surprise. They beat Lumberton 48-0. Poplarville's pretty strong. They lost to Picayune a couple of weeks ago, but they're a strong football team. Well, let's see. Let me give you a couple more. Okay. Adams County Christian over Centerville, 47-20. Presbyterian Christian defeated Hartfield, 14-7. That's also of significance, I think.
Yeah, I think he mentioned this was the first time since, did he say 2014, I believe?
Yeah, it's been a while.
That they came in and
Prep, I think, maybe that
beat
year.
Prep. That's been their goal here. There's the last rolling for the last 6-7 years of coming in and beating a Jackson area school, and so they did that tonight at Hartfield.
Yeah. South Panola defeated Memphis Central. I want to say that. Memphis Central, 41-7 was the final there. Pass Christiana over Purvis, 21-14. Bay over Long Beach, 42-21. Hancock over Greene County, 44-22. St. Martin beat West Marion, 48-20. Lawrence County, 43. Natchez, 30. And Tupelo over Corinth, 42-10.
George, what are the games tomorrow? Are there any Saturday games?
Well, let me look here.
Because we know we had, 15 Thursday?
No, not according to Will's
there are no Saturday.
Sheet. There are no Saturday games this week. There were 15 Thursday night games.
And that hadn't been that many in the past. It's been more like 7 or 8 in
Yeah,
the first couple weeks.
a handful, but there were some that were definitely moved because they were trying to get ahead of the weather.
Yeah, they
which
knew
probably
today was
not
going to be
not a bad idea in some spots. That's for sure.
Some are probably wishing that they had, or maybe postponed it till tomorrow, because you had some 3 and 4 hour marathons going on out there. And
well, you know, the unusual thing about this, and of course we all know we live here, but it's just been so wet in August and September. This is the dry time of year, or supposed to be.
It's supposed to be,
and it's not. You know, but you know, and it's not because we've had a tropical storm or a hurricane or anything like that. It's just the weather systems and playing havoc with our Friday nights. But maybe as we go on in the season, maybe it'll get a little better.
we're just about, not even a month away from the Mississippi State Fair, which usually comes in early October.
Right.
And we'll get our little first cold snap, which usually happens on about the third night of the fair.
Yeah.
And then after the third night in the cold snap, it just rains the rest of the time. And everybody that wanted to go to the fair that was waiting on the cold night, and they finally go, or they don't, because they're like, oh, now it's cool, we can go, but then they can't get there because it's pouring down rain. We hopefully will have getting all of the rain out of our system so that we can enjoy the Mississippi State Fair this year.
I mean, that was meteorologist Don Barnes.
There you go.
Yeah. Talking about the weather.
My predictive weather.
Yeah.
So we are hoping that we're going to hear from one of the head coaches. I think we got Northwest head coach Devin Cooper is the head coach for Northwest Rankin. We're going to see if we can get him on the phone for the Coaches Corner in the last segment. It's going to be kind of a hard conversation to have with him tonight. They fell to Madison Central 48-3, but we'll see if we can get a few minutes in with Coach Cooper.
I think Madison Central was just mad from last week.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not fair to Northwest that they take it out on them like that. But again, sometimes you take there's not another word. I'm sorry, Coach, if you're listening. You take a beating like that, and it does nothing but focus you in on the next one. See, now they're mad, and they can take that forward with them into their next matchup, and so maybe that will be a hand-me-down that they can take with them and learn from that. But we might be able to get some information out of him about that coming up in this final segment.
Yeah, I can give you some Thursday night scores.
Yeah,
a couple of games of some interest. Ridgeland defeated Jim Hill 40-7. That's Ridgeland's third win of the year. Of course, they had that win over Pearl last week. Callaway defeated Provine. Now, both of those schools were 2-0 going into that game, and Callaway defeated Provine 22-14 and in overtime. So that was a good game. Leake Central over Philadelphia 43-34. Northeast Jones defeated Perry Central 26-6. It was Quitman over Newton 54-14. Saltillo defeated Nettleton 30-27.
All right. We have got one more segment to go for the week number 3, or technically week number 4 of the football season. Third show of the season for us here. And we will come back to wrap everything up with that final 15-minute segment coming back after this here on MPB and Friday Night Under the Lights.
When you hear the words blue sky, it means clear sailing. When you stop at a Blue Sky convenience store to fill you or your vehicle up, it'll also be clear sailing. Fuel at competitive prices and a total convenience store with the beverages and your favorite foods that you'll come back for. When you stop at Blue Sky, it means clear sailing. Blue Sky wants you to have a great holiday season and hopes that you enjoy today's game. Blue Sky, fast, fresh, and friendly.
Hey guys, this is my friend Barry.
Unlimited data, Barry?
Ranked #1 in customer service by J.D. Power, Barry.
Let me take your coat, you little award winner, you.
Actually, that's my fur. Oh, be careful of the man's fur.
Malones are competitive people. Come from a deep line with my father. There were 9 in his family, and they had to fight for everything they had.
My dad didn't allow us to have any quit in us. I mean, everything we did, we pushed hard. This isn't a job to us, it's our passion. We were bred to do this.
You know I'd love to be there. It's just super far.
That's not that far.
We have unlimited data. We can chat all we want. I'm comfy.
But it's like 10 feet.
Like I said, super far.
Get your school on the network now.
Here at MPB Studios in beautiful downtown Burbank. No. Jackson, Mississippi is where we are. And we are so happy. I mean, look at where we are. This is awesome. So I want to say thanks to Liz for helping us out tonight. Thank you, Liz. Appreciate you.
It's awesome, but it also is awesome compared to other previous locations that we've done this from.
That's right.
But,
That's right.
We're very appreciative. No
Absolutely,
question about that.
absolutely. Make us sound nice and smooth. And Chris over there doing everything that he can for that. And of course, Ty Bailey over there taking all the calls. And we are hoping that we might get one last call in on the segment, which would be Coach Cooper from Northwest Rankin, the Coach's Corner highlight for the night. And if we get to hear from him, then wonderful. If not, then we will just talk more scores and who's got what coming up and the prospects of the season. You might even have a few. You were talking about one of the smaller schools. You said, I think the only person that has an opportunity – who is that you were talking about that has an opportunity to beat – I don't know. You were in Germany.
We're talking about Manchester Academy.
Manchester Academy.
Manchester, and their district they have North Sunflower Academy, and they're just they're on a roll right now. They're 4-0.
Yeah.
I mean Manchester's Manchester. They've been Manchester for the past 2 or 3 years. They've been dominant.
And this is an 8-man team.
This is both 8-man football.
I remember when Manchester was not an 8-man team because that was back when I was in school. That was a long time ago. Yeah. And they didn't have blocking dummies on the football field. They just went over to the side where all the pine trees were, and they just rammed into pine trees. And then we took the worst of that later when we went to play with them. That's when I was at Manhattan Academy.
Ooh, that's a long time ago.
George's eyebrows just went up. He's like, "You're that old."
That's a long time ago.
And Manchester's not even, hammering at pine trees now. They're, getting people now.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly.
And so North Sunflower is probably on the rise, I would think, right now. I mean, they're off to a good start. They've been beating a lot of people by a wide margin. They're 4-0. So I'll keep it on North Sunflower.
All right. Final rundown on the last little tidbit of information that we've got score-wise.
Okay, I'll just sort of pick out some that I think are of interest. Jackson Academy defeated Madison St. Joe tonight, 36-12. The game that was played in Madison County. Jackson Prep defeated Lamar, 44-9. It was Canton Academy beating Oak Hill, 40-6. Presbyterian Christian, somewhat of a little bit of a surprise. They defeated Hartsville tonight, 14-7. Park Lane over Cathedral, 46-7. MRA, a 27-14 winner over Simpson. Looking at some other scores, Boga Chitto defeated Enterprise, 38-14. It was Collierville over Center Hill, 42-0. Kemper County shut out Forest 14-0. Kosciuszko got a win 19-14 over Lewisburg. Lake Cormorant 22, Horn Lake 0. It was Summerall over Seminary 26-20. Picayune defeated Gulfport 21-7. Starkville 42, Olive Branch 10. Madison Central, we've mentioned this one several times. They beat Northwest Rankin 48-3. Maybe my game of the night, overtime, it was Morton 35, Pearl 34.
Incredible.
Oak Grove over Hattiesburg 42-21. Brandon, number 1 Brandon, beat Clinton tonight 42-35 in a really good game.
Yeah, I would love to have been there for that one.
That would have been a really good game to watch.
Rain or not.
Columbia 20, Petal 16. Florence handled McGee by the score of 43-7. The game that lasted, it's kind of like a baseball game that went 12 innings. It was Warren Central 28, Germantown 13 in a game that finished up at 11:30 or so. Poplarville over Lumberton 48-0. Tupelo beat Corinth by the score of 42-10. Terry shut out Murrah by the score of 35-0. Macomb 49, Mid-County 6. Wayne County defeated Tylertown 42-13. St. Martin over West Marion 48-20. Ocean Springs. Ocean Springs is kind of like, well, I guess they would be on the same side of the bracket, but in the South, you would have to say Ocean Springs and Brandon are probably the favorites to sort of maybe play for the South 6A championship. But Ocean Springs shut out George County 36-0. It was Pontotoc 10, Choctaw County 6. Pass Christiana over Purvis 21-14. Bay High beat Long Beach 42-21. Hancock over Greene County 44-22. And West Point over Noxubee County by the score of 34-16. Those are the scores that we have. There were a lot of games that were, it's not smooth yet. I mean, here we are. This is week 4. This is our 3rd week. Honestly, it's always sort of like this. Not quite this bad, but you get about 5, 6, 7 weeks into the season. You start those kickoffs at 7 o'clock. You start playing district games, and we'll have a lot of scores by 10 o'clock. But some of these games just kind of unusually long it took them to play, mostly because of weather.
All right, let's take a look here. Number 1, Brandon, is off next week.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the rest of their schedule, and you guys tell me what you think, because it looks to me like they've got to walk in the park to get – if they play the way they've been playing, they've got Terry on the 23rd, and then they play Warren Central. That'll be at Warren Central. That could be a test.
That could be a tough game.
Then they've got Petal. Then they've got Meridian.
Right.
Then they've got Oak Grove. That's another one that could be a little bit of a problem for them. And then Northwest Rankin, and then they close out with the Dirt Bowl.
The Dirt Bowl.
And so that is what they've got ahead of them. They've got a long stretch after their open week that you don't want to just say, well, they're going to just roll by Terry, because we watched Morton do the unthinkable to Pearl tonight, and anything could happen like that.
Well, I think from what I've heard and what I've seen, if they play the way they're capable, they're probably going to run the table.
Right. Yeah.
But the deal is, though, it doesn't really matter. When you win 10, 11, 10 games, and then you start in the playoffs.
Yep.
Everybody's got the same record.
Yeah.
So I think they had 2 tough games after their opening game. Well, actually, they played Oxford. Madison Central, and Clinton. That's a pretty tough start.
Tough roll,
for sure.
What you got, Chris?
Well, what we did not have tonight is anybody to call in about prep. And Kevin Griffin is on the phone, who is the color commentator. Right. So let's talk to him.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing tonight, buddy? Thanks for calling in.
Hang.
You got him? There he is. All right. Hey, Kevin, how you doing, bud?
Hey, I'm good. How y'all doing tonight?
All right. Tell us what's going on with you.
Well, just riding down the road. It was a late night. It had a lot of rain over in Meridian, and we had about an hour delay. So we got started about 8 o'clock, and by the time we take down all this streaming equipment, it's almost midnight.
Are you just leaving?
We've been gone about 20 minutes.
Okay. All right. And what's the weather like there now? Because we were looking at it right as we started kickoff here for the show. Looked like you guys were getting clocked.
Yeah. When kickoff started, the rain had kind of slowed down and almost stopped, and it was really a pleasant night. So not too bad. We got fortunate.
Then the storms came through around 10, I believe. You guys got hit. Was what I was looking at was a cell that came through there. Maybe it just grazed you. But so were the field conditions, we have turf or no?
No, it's natural grass. But I'll tell you, Lamar's got probably one of the nicest natural turf fields, natural grass fields that I've seen in the high school ranks. They do a really good job with that facility, and you couldn't really tell that that we had gotten so much rain, the field looked great at the end of the game.
Well, what's your takeaway from what you saw tonight? What are we looking like momentum wise?
Well, Lamar jumped out to a 9-7 lead, and Prep had a turnover at the Lamar 1 yard line as they were going in. So then Prep rolled off, I think, 37 unanswered to 44-9. So I'll tell you one thing that Prep did well tonight that really stood out to me anyway is Owen McCraney, a junior tight end, had a big night. I think he had 6 catches for close to 80 yards, and they really moved him all around the field tonight. They set him up at tight end. They put him in the slot, bunched up with trip receivers out wide. And, you know, when everybody's keying on Will Upton and William Laird, it opens up a lot over the middle for the tight end position. And Owen McCraney really had a big night. And Paxton Thompson, in spite of the wet weather, did a good job. He really was spinning the football tonight and was very accurate.
What do they got going next week? Where will Prep be playing at home?
Prep hosts Park Lane Academy next week. So starting conference play next week. And, you know, Park Lane's an athletic team the last few years in their younger grades. They've given Prep some really close games in the junior high ranks. So those guys are older now, and they're going to be matched up again next week. So look for a good game over on Flowwood Drive.
Well,
Lakeland Drive.
They are rolling pretty good right now. 3-0, right?
4-0.
4-0.
Prep 4-0 now after this week. So got Park Lane next week, and then I think maybe Capaya, and then MRA will be week 7. So should be you can't overlook the next 2 opponents, but, you know, in the back of their mind, they're looking forward to matching up with MRA.
Awesome. We appreciate the call. Hopefully we'll get to hear from you again here real soon. Thanks for calling in tonight to Friday Night Under the Lights.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Hi, buddy. Well, there you go. A little bit of a late start, but looks like they got to play straight through once they got going and wrapped it up. So, good win for Prep tonight.
It is a good, and I asked Russ this last week, and he said it was really too early. I was asking him, is Prep back? You know, because they were a little bit down last year.
Yeah.
And then actually, you know, MRA's won, a couple of championships in a row. And Prep had won,
Seven straight.
Seven straight prior to that.
Yep.
And I was asking Russ, like I said, you know, is Prep back? And he said, well, it's really just too early to tell. And it probably is still a little bit too early to tell. But you're going to know a whole lot more in the next couple of 3 weeks.
Well, and they had a change at the helm, so that makes things. That gives you a little bit of a fruit basket turnover there, and some things that they'll have to get back in order. But it looks like they're playing Prep football again, and you never know. We'll just have to wait and see a couple of weeks in and see what's going there.
Looks like the old clock on the wall is about expired.
Says it's time to roll.
Yeah.
And we are just a couple of ticks away from tomorrow, so we're going to make it out of here before that happens. Joel, I appreciate you, buddy. Joel Norris, George Broadstreet, thank you, sir, for all of your information. Of course, Chris Saxton and Ty Bailey. For all you guys, I'm Don Barnes. Thank you guys for tuning in to Friday Night Under the Lights. We'll be right back here again next week. So long, everybody, from Friday Night Under the Lights.
Sailing. When you stop at a Blue Sky convenience store to fill you or your vehicle up, it'll also be clear sailing. Fuel at competitive prices and a total convenience store with the beverages and your favorite foods that you'll come back for. When you stop at Blue Sky, it means clear sailing. Blue Sky wants you to have a great holiday season and hopes that you enjoyed today's game. Blue Sky, fast, fresh, and friendly.
Hey guys, this is my friend Barry.
Unlimited data, Barry?
Ranked #1 in customer service by J.D. Power, Barry.
Let me take your coat, you little award winner, you.
Actually, that's my fur. Oh, be careful of the man's fur.
Malones are competitive people. Come from a deep line with my father. There were 9 in his family,